You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and I'm here with the gang. Cleo's going to join us shortly, and you are seeing PoliTarology. Hi. Okay, so we have a new intro. Yay, it's fun. And I don't know about you guys, but I am totally overwhelmed with how much is going on in the news. It is like crazy town. It's like I just can't. I, and some of the things, like I just can't even wrap my head around it. I mean, maybe we can read on it. Maybe we can get some kind of clarity on certain ones of these things. But I think there's so much going on. It's gonna be. It might be a rough night. That's what I'm gonna say. What do you guys think, Gerald?
I
What do you?
think you're right. Oh,
I agree.
Yeah, right.
I'll be honest with you. I'm sort of, I have this great class that I'm co-teaching tomorrow, co-facilitating, and I'm like going, want to do nothing other than lay in bed and keep my energy out of all of the crap.
awesome, Gerald.
Yeah.
So
That's a good co-host that would co-facilitator, co-creator. Very nice.
Okay, here, we'll reframe it. I've been spending all my time in the quantum field in preparation.
That's nice. I just looked at my calendar to see why I didn't sign up for that class because I meant to. And I realized that I completely forgot that my coven's coming over tomorrow night.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
Yeah, when I finally found out what time it was, I realized I already had a live stream set. So it was like, oh, shit.
Oh,
shoot, I'm missing.
Joe Eliza said it was just a WTF week.
Wasn't it?
Amen.
It was, my gosh. It was just incredible. So, well, I guess we could try to read on something while we wait for Cleo to get here. But before we jump into the questions, why don't we all just take a moment to say hello to our viewers and kind of take a breath.
Hi, viewers.
Hi. Val, why don't you start us off?
Hi, viewers. I'm Val with Dragonfly Crystals, Next Level Channeling, and I'm very happy to be here with the Cool Crone and the gang on PoliTarology. It's my pleasure. And Sherry?
Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry, Voices from the Swamp. And I'm very happy to be here with Gerald and Colleen and Val and Cleo when she makes it. And I'm looking forward to it. I love doing this show every other Friday. This is great.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Gerald?
I'm Tarot Stash. Welcome to PoliTarology, where we make all of your dreams become reality. Please remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance and get your ass out and vote. Thank you.
And with that, I will put my little banner on. So we were all using our best podcast voices to do that. And that's good. That's what you have to do when things get too like,
bye, baby. Have a good evening.
Yeah, like that. And I just have to remind myself that I chose to be here. This is really where I'm meant to be, talking to all of you people. And it isn't meant to be torture. It's meant to be instructive. All of this is meant to be instructive. So let's go learn something. Okay. All right. So I think, you know what I thought was interesting today? This is not a super duper controversial and in-depth question or anything, but when Mr. Biden invited Mr. Trump to help him solve the border crisis, to help him push through his border bill and be a part of the solution, I thought that was very, very interesting. And I just want to know, what do people, how do we think this is really going to be responded to? I didn't see anything, but then I was in the Verizon store all day, so I really didn't see a lot of news. But how do we think that this is going to be received by not just Trump, but all of his surrogates, all the people around him, and all of that crap?
Oh, well, they think it's a trick. That's what I've heard.
Oh,
That he's doing something to trick them.
okay.
That's just
And
a couple of the articles that I
Yeah,
saw
and I-
headlines on.
I agree. I kind of felt like it would be received by Trump facetiously, and that it would be ignored.
Hmm. Oh, he's stupid to ignore it. He's really dumb to ignore it, because it's an opportunity for him to get publicity, right? It's an opportunity for him to show that he's actually an adult. And I know he's not going to do anything with it. He is going to ignore it at his peril. And I do think that there's going to be 10 or 15 thinking adults out there that actually go, why the hell didn't you take him up on that? That was a really great offer. So I think, Mr. Biden is going to come out smelling like a rose.
Yeah.
And a few more voters are going to say, yeah, I'm kind of done with Trump. So, I mean, with every step that he takes, it seems these days, a few more people turn away and go, what's that smell? Why is it following us?
Well, and I think it also goes to that idea of is we actually see people working toward a solution and working together instead of fighting and being disreputable.
Mm-hmm.
And let's have some conversation for the best things. And it's like,
Yeah. I mean,
Well, when you hear Fox News pundits talk about the Republicans screwed up because they didn't take the border deal, that the Democrats worked on it with them and gave them just about everything they wanted, and then they turned it down because Trump said, no, I want to run on that.
yeah, that's right. And there was, I noticed in the news, as a kind of tangential issue, that Mr. Biden did sign something to stop the government from being closed down. So they did come to some sort of something for the budget. So another 10 or 15 people are going to turn away from Mikey Johnson and Trump and go, that Mr. Biden.
people walking away from Trump, people realizing all of the blockages that have been put up.
Mm-hmm.
They're not happy about what was. They want to turn it over and do something new.
Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
They do. Anybody else got anything about this border bill or the signing of the saving the budget bill and not closing the government?
Oh, Moses Mike
yeah.
is going to pay for that.
I was kind of going about by looking at Trump. Take that any way you want. So,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
I do think that let's just do a quick throw on Mikey. I was so sure that he was going to be just, an In-N-Out burger. He wasn't really going to be there very long. But I think some Democrats are okay with him sticking around because they seem to be kind of pulling the strings on Mikey. Things are getting done in spite of him. What is this thing? Yeah, like Tom Suozzi is going to be. Did he get sworn in? Yeah. Returns to Congress with 2 words for the House. Wake up. Here's Cleo. Hello, Cleo.
You got her?
Yeah. Hi. How are
Hi.
you?
Sorry I'm late.
No worries. No worries.
Cleo needs to see the new intro.
Oh, yeah, she does. You need to see the new intro. So here we go. I'll just run that for you. Okay. So
Wow. That's a cool one.
it's
Thank
really cool.
Thank you. I thought we needed a little sprucing up, And we've just been chatting, Cleo, about how overwhelmed we all are by how much news is going on.
Yeah, a lot.
It's like,
of news.
oh my God. And we started to read, I don't even remember what we read on, but we read on one thing so far. Biden's statement at the border that Trump should come and work with him for the solution. And the fact that Biden signed something to keep the government from getting shut down. So
some
you
cards
haven't
on it.
missed much. You haven't missed much.
Okay.
I pull the Queen of Cups. Everybody's seeing Biden's empathy in wanting to help those that truly need help trying to cross the border.
Mhm.
And at the same time, as he's birthing out new ways of planning things, of doing things, there a lot of the more sane MAGA people are starting to weigh the balance between the two and going, okay, wait a minute. Our guy is bat poop crazy. Maybe we should go with the other guy.
Very
Just
good.
because, Biden stands up in his calm, cool voice, or his lean in and whisper voice that he loves to do, which freaks them out when he does it. But it's always very calming. He doesn't get hysterical. Whereas Trump sounds like a babbling idiot just because of the way he carries on.
Well, I think that I think from what my guides are telling me is that, this is necessary so that people begin to see, not begin, but people accept that he's lost it. He's just not in reality. And you can't elect someone to the White House who's not in reality. It's a very bad plan.
Well, and more people are seeing that. And also, you can't elect somebody that's going bankrupt.
Ah, yes. That's
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't elect somebody.
Yeah,
who's
because
going-
it's against the security of the United States. I mean,
Right.
because
Mhm.
they can use that against him.
right. Right. So, what do we think about Mitch McConnell's announcement?
About
Mm.
time, Mitch. About
Time, but he's not really stepping down until November, which will be
Yeah.
after the election, and he's not actually leaving the Senate, he says, until he ends his term. Do we believe? Here's my question: do we believe that he's going to make it that far?
No.
So when do we think that the turtle's going to just? Do you remember? I always used to get those little mini turtles as pets from the pet store until they made them illegal, and I would never clean the bowl, and so the whole those little plastic bowls that they would make for them would just become like a Jello thing, and the turtle would just be in the Jello.
Oh.
I was terrible. I was
That's
a terrible
disgusting.
pet owner. What's that?
Why are you sharing that?
Because I think that's what's going to happen to Mitch McConnell.
I think you're right, Colleen. I got dust. He's going home, and I mean the other home.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. It's just a matter of the timing.
I'm going to be gutsy, and I'm going to say it could be May.
Wow.
And I'm going to go along with Gerald on that. I don't know if it'll be May, but it would definitely be before November.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sherry got dust too.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I was going to say August, and I thought that would be
He thinks he's the
outlandish.
master, but he's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's Mr. Cool in the club, but he's not.
It could be May or June. Is May we're going to start see there's going to be some sort of an incident, and in June he may actually not be. He may move into the dust mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he has any more seizures or strokes or whatever the hell they want to call it on camera, there's going to be more and more people in his party that are going to say, okay, it's time to hit the road.
Yeah.
Well, and since he made the announcement, they're already looking for somebody new. And I mean, I think they think what we're talking about is that he's not going to make it to November, let alone the end of his term. And, when we talked about when he was having problems before, I'm kind of surprised he's made it this far. I didn't think he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking, May, June is a pretty likely time frame for Mitch, and then special election time. So I don't know if you guys recall, but it was quite a few months ago when, when was it? It was actually probably about a year ago when we were looking at Kevin and talking about Widow Kevin as Speaker of the House and how he was going to be out and having problems. And I think Cleo agreed with me on this one that, sometime before the November election of 2024, there would be so many Republicans that would have been either forced to leave or retired or got sick or had to leave or got arrested that the Democrats would achieve a majority, or even without the majority, that they would all decide to elect Hakeem Jeffries Speaker of the House. And that, I believe, is looking more and more like reality.
Yeah.
It has just taken a while, and we knew it would take a while. We knew it would take over a year for that to be achieved. But I mean, I've even heard them propose that on Morning Joe on MSNBC.
Well, they're just
Wow.
disgusted with what's his name, Mike Johnson. They're just even the Republicans are disgusted with them because they should have passed this deal about the border and Ukraine, especially about Ukraine. And everybody is for that except Trump, Mike Johnson, and whoever's paying attention to him. So they weren't able to get it through, and they're still working on that, and they're going to probably try to force his hand on it because we see what happened. The money didn't come through, and Ukraine lost a city to Russia. So yeah, we've got to make a change. However, I saw a most disturbing thing on I think it was on the internet where people were coming up and saying that they were voters for the primaries, and they said they didn't believe that Vladimir Putin was a threat, and they thought that Zelensky was the evil one, and that we shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, where the hell is that coming from?
Where do you think? Russian propaganda.
Yeah,
it's totally propaganda.
Well, I think that, and I kind of alluded to this before, I think that the Democrats are kind of pulling Mikey's strings. I don't think that, despite him trying to do the bidding of the master and, block things up, do we think that, this is something for us to read on, I know that Republicans, some MAGA Republicans probably want to force him out. Like I'm sure Marge already has the paperwork in hand to basically, drum him out of the core because they have that one vote thing in place. But do we think that maybe the Democrats might group together to keep him on board? Or do we think that he's going to be leaving? And if he's going to be leaving, I'm thinking that also is going to happen sometime before May or June. So can we read on that? Did I formulate a question or do I need to reword it?
Rephrase the question.
Yeah.
So just say it clearly so I have it.
So do we think Mikey Johnson is going to be saved and kept in his speaker's seat by anyone? And if so, who? The Democrats, the Republicans, whatever. Okay. And if you have a time frame, great.
I don't feel that he is going to be saved by anybody. I don't see how it would really benefit the Democrats to support him because he's making a bigger mess of the Republicans than they already are. And No, I don't see that happening. But I do see him leaving soon. But they've still got the same problem, you know. I know we're talking about Jeffries, but they're still going to have to replace him with somebody. And as usual, they're not organized on this. They don't have, you know, they haven't all come together and say, you know, maybe we should do this guy. But no, Mike Johnson he's floundering. And I think he's a little bit nervous about where he stands right now, because he's trying to do stuff for Republicans. He's trying to do stuff for Trump. And then he's also trying to sort of do stuff with Democrats, but he has a trouble being bipartisan. So, yeah, no, I don't see him being in there very long.
Okay.
Right. And I have to say, I agree 100%. And here's him going home, lots of chairs. And this is because this breath card, it shows how he stands up at the pulpit. And he's been preaching to everyone, bringing everybody in, preaching, doing all this stuff. But they're going to bring in a Band-Aid person. But they're going to be like here's like an explorer in the moon. I mean, way out of the realm. They're not going to be there for long. So whatever is going to happen, I think Jeffries, I think that's his name.
The Democrat?
Yeah. What's the one that it would be speaker from our side?
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of his first name for a minute, but I really feel him coming in after this Faldy roll. After Johnson is out and a Band-Aid person comes in, then I feel like it will be Jeffries. That's my feeling.
I love that.
Balderall, you made me think of Cinderella right away.
It's Faldy roll and fiddly dee and fiddly boddly twaddle.
The
Bibbidi
original
Bobbidi
Hammers-
Boo.
Yeah, that's another. Not the cartoon, the one that came out in the 60s, I think it was. It was like a live play on
I
TV.
saw that one as a child, and I
grew up with
loved
that
it.
one.
Yeah,
Faldy roll and
fiddly dee and fiddly boddly twaddle.
The minute you said Falderall, that's what flashed in my brain.
I could sing that song, but you wouldn't want me to.
Yeah, well, I could sing it too, but yeah, that would
you would have to plug your ears.
I pulled the 3 of Cups. So phrase that question again. I want to make sure I'm reading this right.
Well, do we think that anyone is really going to save Johnson, or is he going to be out also?
Moses Mike, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, I got the 3 of Cups, followed by, if I can get it to pick up, the 2 of Cups. So I got the 2 and 3 of Cups here. I get a feeling, it feels like the Democrats are just playing along with them, nudging them. Well, yeah, but you need to do this. Well, you need to do, because he talks real big and real tough. And then when he goes and meets with them, he signs up whatever it is that they throw in his face. And then he has to go back and deal with the Republicans after the fact. The fact that I was listening to pundits today on Fox News pointing out this stuff to their coworkers who didn't want to think about it kind of let me know where that axe was falling. And then it finished up with a Knight of Swords. So it just feels like what I'm really picking up off of this is that the Democrats are just kind of pushing them along. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. Before they go in for the kill. And as soon as they know for sure that they've got at least a handful of either independents or sane Republicans that'll vote for Jeffries, that'll be it. They're going to get Moses Mike out and they're going to put Jeffries in.
I believe that's exactly right.
Or they're
Sharon.
going to push the Republicans' buttons and let them get Moses Mike out. And then they'll put Jeffries in.
that's what my intuitive hit is, just seeing it play out. I feel
Yeah.
Jeffrey's being magnetized to that position, just pulling in, and I see him there.
I've always seen him in that position before the election.
Mm.
Wow,
So
that is just
that-
it, because it's most unusual to have that have
Yeah.
a Democrat step in like that. But that's what a lot of other people have been saying too. And a lot of people between the chat and you guys are talking about May for the end of Mitch. So, you know, and also maybe it's May for the end of Johnson. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was he's not long because they're forcing him to overthink everything. He can't trust anything, and they're working against him. They're talking behind his back. I'm actually going to say it's going to be June when we get, because I have the Six of Wands where there's a victory. So I'm going to say June is when we're gonna see a shift in that. So
Okay.
It spell out, just spell out. And this is Jeffrey's coming in, getting magnetized to the spot. And I'm
Nice.
going, wow. I
nice.
think Spirit's trying to say, yep, it's going to happen.
Yeah. So what I got is that the Republicans are going to have a hard time getting him out because even though he's kind of ineffectual, he is ineffectual. And when he goes behind closed doors with the Democrats, like the president or anybody else who's Democratic, he just curls up in a little ball and waits for them to kick him. They don't. He doesn't have any means of standing up to them. He's just like really weak.
Mhm.
So I think behind the scenes, the Democrats love this because they can manipulate the hell out of this guy. Because, well, you have a lot of really smart Democrats and they can talk him into things, even though he's out in the pulpit. He seems like he's very strong, like you all were saying. You know, he's really got his core values from whatever book he's reading. But really he doesn't. He's just a follower. He's just a I'm going to do what you tell me to do guy. So I think that the Democrats are going to keep him in there as long as they need him until they do have the votes for Hakeem Jeffries. And that probably will lead it up to May or June. And then they may have to put in an acting speaker. That might be the interim person, but I don't know. I think it might go straight to Jeffries. And
Yeah.
but I think the Democrats are going to, because I got the moon and the Two of Wands. So I think that with the moon, there's all this stuff that's behind the scenes and hidden and kind of nefarious. And the Two of Wands are them getting together, getting their ducks in a row, counting their votes, making their decisions. And I think the Democrats are really in charge. I got the Three of Cups at the end of this, and yeah. So I mean, I think Mikey is just kind of a pawn in this whole thing. I don't think that
Yeah.
he really is the one holding the power.
Well, has anybody ever really taken him seriously? I mean, I don't think so.
Well, we did when we were curious about why the hell he didn't have a bank account and what his beliefs were and why did he have a shared porn account with his son? Yeah. We were kind of going, oh, and then when we realized after the first couple of things that he tried to do that he was just a wimp.
Yeah.
Just a wimp. He's really
I think when he gets surrounded by all that power from the Democratic Party, when he goes in for those meetings with Biden and majority leaders and minority leaders and whatnot, and he gets in there, I think it's just the power of the people in that room is so intimidating to him that he just whatever you say.
Yeah. You know, getting back to Mitch, Michelle, Astrological Tarot has put a thing up there. You were asking her. Can you put that up?
Yeah.
Did she respond to my question?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a time either.
But yeah, so I highlighted it. So
Well, what about the other thing she said? There's
Mitch's ascendant is in Sidereal Leo. How can you get that, Michelle, without a time?
There we go. There we go.
I think he
around
just used
May 15th.
midnight.
in Mitch's 8th house of chronic illness, death, transformation.
Mhm.
And she's guessing I got 1806 as Mitch's
Oh,
birthday
I
on my
see. So you're
cards.
putting in that birth time
Okay.
from your cards. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I don't have a time,
Mhm.
so it's really hard to
Mhm.
but if you guess a time, then
Mhm.
you can, put those things in. Yeah, I've always had really, really not great feelings about
Mhm.
him. Like for the last 2 years, I've just been like, how
Mhm.
is this guy even walking around? I
Well,
mean,
that's it.
well, he's not. He's falling down. So, but
If
he's
you
not.
look at Mitch, though, he is looking very frail, very
Very
frail. So,
Oh, yeah.
this would not surprise me if something came up in May that affected his health or death or transformation. I mean, it just um,
And here's somebody who's actually, I think, from the state, who says if Turtleman has to retire and exits Earth's then Democrat Kentucky governor will place a Democrat in his place until special election, and that would give the Dems 51 seats. And there are people every week from the Republican Party leaving the House. That's why they keep having to recount how many votes they have and how many,
Mhm.
are they even in the majority? So
well, and I think that everybody's seeing that the only people who are getting anything done is Democrats. The Republicans just aren't getting anything done. So yes, they've got to go to the Democrats to get something happening.
but the Democrats are getting a lot done.
Yes, exactly. Fine, they're the only ones doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Um, yeah, just crazy.
I hope Val will come back.
Oh, she will.
While we're waiting, part of the reason I was late today is because I had to put up my first video.
Oh,
What?
yay!
Oh my gosh.
I put up my first video. It's coming out tomorrow at noon Pacific time.
Great.
And
Yay!
it's not perfect. It's not really what I wanted, but I thought if I keep screwing around with this, it's never going to get up. So I just put it up. I don't know if I did it right, but I think I did. And so anyway, look forward
We're
to
gonna all go to Cleo's channel after the show and watch her new video.
well,
Val.
it's not going public until noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Val,
called
yeah. Go
We're
ahead.
gonna have to watch it.
introducing Cleo the Seer, and you'll see it on there. And finally,
That's
Yay!
noon Pacific time.
right?
And it's 3 p.m. Eastern time, folks.
Well,
Yes.
I'm going to go make some popcorn and watch this.
I am
This is
gonna
going to be
get some
great.
popcorn
Me
too.
too.
It's
Me
only
too.
30 minutes.
Congratulations.
That's
Congratulations.
Yeah, this must be a big weight off your mind.
Yeah.
And that's
Totally.
Cleo the Seer. Channel link below.
Like and
So
subscribe.
you
Leave a
broke
comment
your
after
cherry, and now you can go on to make many, many more. That's great. Sorry, Val. I spoke
No,
over you.
no, that's good.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Boy.
that's fantastic.
So,
Getting a lot of love, Cleo.
Cool.
so I guess we cannot avoid the elephant in the room any longer, which is our esteemed Supreme Court. Ugh.
Oh boy.
Oh, God. I mean, at one point today, I thought I got a hit that something is going to change this. Now, this just might be my happy angels that just want everything to be good and want me to cheer up. Could be. But I think that people are really pissed off about this.
They are.
So that's what I want to read about. Like, will this pissed offness affect the people in the black robes? Will
You
it
mean,
make a
will
difference?
they do something before April 22nd also? Is that part of this question?
Yeah, will they change their mind and alter this time frame or whatever. I mean, I think let's just read on it. Will
and I saw something like you are just talking about, and I don't know if I actually saw it or if it was just wishful thinking.
right? Yeah.
That could actually happen, that there could be a change. But let me think about it a little bit here.
Look what just jumped out of my cards. Okay. The Hanged Man jumped out first, meaning here's a stall, here's something stalling. The Magician reverse came up. So they're trying to pull a rabbit out of their butts. And then the Ten of Swords. So they're feeling really stabbed in the back. I don't know. I think that means they might make a change.
I think they might make a change because they don't have to go this long, and everybody is watching this and saying, you're just giving him more time so that we don't have to come to this before the election. But when it came down to Al Gore and was it Bush?
Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Supreme Court got right on that right away. So they don't have to wait till April 20. I think it's April 22nd.
Yeah, they don't.
Well,
they really don't. Go ahead.
I totally agree. And I have to say, this was like the first card out, the graveyard. This says to me that it's a dead issue, meaning they know the answer already.
Exactly.
They're wrestling around inside the Supreme Court with everybody arguing. And it's all about 45. That's the whole thing. But at the end of the day, yeah, they're going to have to do something faster than they say. They're
And
not going to be able, the pressure on them. Yeah, Cleo.
They don't want to because the appellate court, with those three women on those three judges on the appellate court that came up and said, no, you don't get just blanket immunity for everything that happens to you because you were president. They have written that up so well that the Supreme Court is going to have a hard time.
And you're absolutely right. This card indicates it's a dead deal. They don't even have to make a decision. It's already a done deal. They know what the answer is going to be. They're not going to be able to hold out because the pressure on them to come out and just say it is going to be too hard to bear. There's going to be a lot of internal, well, we're going to make you step down over this, this, and this if you don't come out with something faster. There's going to be some internal pressure to bear on them. I am sure of that, especially with Thomas and the Jenny Thomas thing. And there's just too much they can use to say, we're going to be playing these cards if you don't do something. I think it will happen sooner.
Well, and somebody just says over here in chat that they have the dates established and for arguments and they won't change that. And that's what I'm worried about, that they, I think they can change it.
When did they say they would hear it? In June?
No, in April 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll see. Oh,
yeah. They're giving each side 3 weeks to 3 weeks, one side to produce their first brief, then 3 weeks for the next side to decide their brief, and then a couple more weeks for responses or whatever the fuck it is. But it's going to take them a million years. And they added up all the weeks and came up with April 22nd. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that sounds right. Whether they change the date or not, there's a lot of stuff going on we're not seeing, and they're not feeling comfortable on the Supreme Court right now, nor do any of them feel like they're, not any of them. I mean, look, the Democrats are okay on the Supreme Court, but Roberts and Clarence Thomas and Alito, they're realizing that really it's not going to look good for them because they really know, I'm sure they realize that the administration is not going to change and things are going to move into a blue situation. And they're sitting on the Supreme Court on a powder keg. This is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody
Well,
else?
and let's say that they don't do it in time, and they do wait after the election, and they still have to come out with the same thing of no, Trump does not have that kind of immunity, and so he'll still be clobbered. But if he gets, he's just not going to win. So I just think that they don't want to be the ones that say Trump's not going to win. They want to be the ones to give him the benefit of the doubt or something. I mean, it's just so stupid because another court has covered this very well. They have also listened to all the arguments. I mean, they're rehashing something that's already been done.
They
And
should have
already,
sent it back, and they should have said they wouldn't read on it. I mean,
Well, they said the same about Roe v. Wade, and look what they did with that.
Well, I'm getting a headache with this as I'm looking at my cards, just because it's so chaotic and there's so much going on.
it's okay.
And I'm just going to say what I'm seeing. It feels like this is an exit strategy for some of the members. They're going to quickly do this. They're going to say no,
And then get out.
and then they're going to get out because there's a lot of Eight of Cups. There's the Hanged Man, because Colleen, you also got the Hanged Man.
Yep.
And we've got the World and the King of Pentacles. So opportunity for the current president to be able to make new things. I do get the idea there's going to be more members of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And that's the opportunity. It really feels this is like, and I don't even want to be, in the close quarters talking to them, because I might want to slap them with my tiny hands, and go, think about what you're doing, you idiots. But it's very much, it feels like an exit strategy of some sort.
I like that. And I totally, that makes perfect sense too.
Because, and I'm pointing, because if they rule on it, then it can't go anywhere else, right?
Yeah. I agree.
And then we're done.
Well, and they're worried about the retribution from Trump and whoever else, all the 45er followers, the MAGAs. So, they will get the hell out of Dodge before, they'll do their ruling, get the heck out, and everything will be great. Yeah.
You would think by now that the Supreme Court, they're supposed to be like some of the most intelligent people in the country, right? Supposed to be. They're not, but they're supposed to be. You would think they would have reasoned it out by this point that if they give Trump immunity for all this crap and whatnot and enable him to walk into the White House and become a dictator, the first thing a dictator does is he gets rid of the courts.
Yep.
Simply because he don't want to hear from him anymore. Hey, stop. Sorry, y'all. I pull the Page of Swords inverted. A lot of arrogance there with them. A lot of arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
They also are buying into a lot of the gossip that's going around. Especially the weaker members who don't seem to have the ability to think for themselves. They have to do what they're told. But then I pulled the Three of Wands. So I see that as Biden manifesting like hell, because they're going to be cleaning out the court, and they're going to be bringing in more justices so that there's a justice for every court, which is what it's supposed to be. That was originally how it was set up. Followed by the Seven of Wands, which was also reversed, which there's a lot of defending going on, a lot of defensive talk, a lot of defensive actions. It's like they go into it knowing they're going to do something they shouldn't do, and the next breath is going to be defending what they've done because we were told to do that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
weird energy, very weird energy.
Yes. Yeah. True. Okay, so after those 3 cards jumped out of my deck, I got a few more cards. I got the 10 of Pentacles. They are going to be reminded that this is their legacy. This is going to be their legacy. This is one of the most important cases ever. And at this point, it isn't about the immunity. They're not even taking it up going straight at the immunity of presidents when they're doing presidential official acts. That's not even the question that they're asking. So all they're achieving in this is delay for Trump. It's so blatant. It's so transparent and probably transactional. And it's not gonna give any value for them, because you're right. If he does get into office, first thing he'd do is fire them all. He's get rid of all of them. So I do think that they're going to have to take a look at this again and come up with something else. And I think John Roberts is going to have to grow a pair. And this is the Hierophant. He's the overarching authority in the court. I think he's going to have to put his foot down and say, you know what, we have to go back. This is an extraordinary situation, and we're going to take extraordinary steps to try to rectify it, because he does not want his legacy to go down as running the most corrupt Supreme Court in history.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't want that.
And right now, I feel like the panel of judges on the Supreme Court, they're getting ulcers. They're just,
Good.
Good.
Yeah, they're tense. They're tense about this, and they're worried.
Yeah.
But now they put their little piece out there, and they see that they are not getting a very good response from anybody. Nobody thinks this is a good idea. So we'll just see.
It's not serving the people.
Not a bit.
It's not.
I like what you brought up, that this is their legacy. It's an important thing.
Yes.
It's really important.
I mean, the fact that they're supposed to serve for life is very quickly going to bite the dust, because they're very few of them are going to serve for life at this point.
Mhm.
Thomas is going to be out. Probably, what's that other guy, Gorsuch?
Yeah.
He might be out. Roberts is going to be out.
Mhm.
Certainly,
Alito.
Kavanaugh, Alito, they're all going to be out. I think Amy Coney Barrett may even be out, but I think her reasons are different. I think she may be for health reasons, but the other ones, they're going to leave because they're dirty, lying scum.
Mm-hmm.
That is why they're going to leave.
Yes.
And I think with all the departures, that may spur Biden to have to bring them in sooner than he wants to,
Mhm.
before the end of this year, before the end of 2024. But I do think in 2025 he's going to seriously expand the court. That's what I'm getting.
Mhm.
Oh God, thank you. This is just a disgusting thing to read on, because
Mm-hmm.
their energy is just so disgusting.
It really is.
It's just, they are really I just get this taste in my mouth that is just horrible. Just
The
awful.
backroom deals, and they're dirty and
Yep.
paid for before they even got in, and all this stuff. Oh, it's just dark.
It's very dark.
Should you play the intro video again?
Yeah,
just to
let's do
clear
that.
the air?
Yeah, we'll pretend like that's our new sage, is just playing the intro. Oh, that worked. God,
There we
that
go.
That's uplifting.
was great. That
Just
really
clear the air.
made a clearing. Yes. Oh,
So
thank
somebody
you.
Mine
asked.
halfway pops. But it doesn't do
Somebody
anything.
asked where Trump was going to be. Somebody asked where Trump was going to be in January of 2025, and I'll tell you where he's going to be: bankrupt.
Oh, for sure. I totally agree.
Yeah, he is definitely going to be bankrupt. I wonder if I can do it now. I got to practice more. Okay. All right.
He's trying to sell the Truth Social website for billions of dollars,
Mhm.
And I just don't know if that's first of all, I don't know if it's worth it. And I don't know. Something happened in the deal. It's certainly not settled that somebody is going to pay that kind of money for his website, but that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to sell that. And there's a little bit of problem with, he can't really sell all the stuff in New York right now because that's what this is all about.
Why can't he sell it?
But the
He
court
can't sell
the
anything
court
because
is
it's
going
all
to,
mortgaged to
allow
the
it.
hilt.
You're two people. I didn't hear that. What?
Sherry, what did you say?
I said I was reading earlier that he can't sell anything because it's all mortgaged to the hilt.
Oh,
That would make
And
sense.
so he would, if he sold it all, he would come out of the negative. That's
So,
what
so
the
he wouldn't.
article.
So it wouldn't do him any good. He
No.
wouldn't be able to. Oh, that's interesting. Well, and that stock deal or that sale deal of his Truth Social, that just brings us. I'm afraid the hit that I got is that just brings us right back to the SCOTUS, because if
Another article I read today on that very thing was that those that already have stock in the company, because if he does what he's planning on doing, he drives up the cost, he sells it, and then he dumps all that stock on the market, which makes the price bottom out. And so the other stockholders right now, from what I was reading earlier, they're planning an end run to stop him from being able to do any of that.
Oh, I didn't know that. What I was going to say is that part of the SCOTUS holding everything off until the end of April, and that would probably mean it would get held off maybe into May, is because Trump wants everything to be on hold until then so that he makes some money from that sale, because the money from that sale won't actually come to him until the end of April. And that just is so creepy that the SCOTUS thing has that same date of when he's going to be making money off of the stock deal.
yeah.
That's just like, what is it's like the thing we were talking about Russia last week. It's like all these things kind of, why are they happening all at the same time? And why do they all converge around this same date? There's a connection there, and it makes me want to hurl. It just makes me.
I just have to put this comment up from Linda
Okay.
H. I thought it said the shame holders have a lawsuit against him. It actually says the shareholders.
Oh my God.
I kind of like my version a little bit better.
I do
I
too.
do too.
I do too. Do you watch the show Big Mouth?
Yes.
Yeah,
the
so
shame
the shame
monster.
wizard is
Yes,
out
shame
there
wizard.
making everybody ashamed of everything they're doing.
So Val, did you have something that you were gonna say?
Oh, I threw it on Trump and bankruptcy or whatnot. I was just throwing it on Trump, and I got 45. It was about the property, selling it in New York, and I got for 45. It won't matter. This is 45, and this is the Grim Reaper. So take that any way you want. It's not
I
looking
think it's
good.
kind of obvious.
Additionally, he got the world, so I think he's complete. He'll be complete at that time, however you want to say that. So,
So let's all read on that. Do we think he will be complete? I think he'll make his next birthday. So let's say by August of this year, will Trumpy be complete?
ooh.
Wink, nudge, nudge.
Not sure about the timing on that, about August.
You think it's later?
Yeah, I do.
When do you think it is?
I don't think he'd make it to not this November. I don't think he'll make it to next November.
Ooh. Okay. That was my out loud voice. Words you never want to, sounds you never want to hear from a
Tarot reader.
Will he be complete? I got a definite yes. Straight up yes. With the 10 of Wands, I got the 3 of Pentacles with the 6 of Wands. So all of the work and celebration and victories. Ace of Swords and the Empress. So it's like taking action, and Hanged Man and the 7 of Wands. So yes, I think so.
And while you were talking, he went over the Rainbow Bridge and it broke his heart. This just fell out.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Wow.
you can't make this stuff up.
He's going to complete himself.
Yes. Oh, and you're giving me the chills.
And as he's dancing his way out the door,
True.
August works for me because I get the ocean, and that's usually summertime when you go to the beach. So maybe he's just going to dance himself on out to the.
I think he's dancing all the way to the big pearly gate.
Going, yeah.
There's so much weighing down on him, and it's just like, yeah. It's just like it's an exit.
Yeah.
I think he's one ketchup packet away from just being 1 foot on the other side and 1 foot on this side for the rest of his days.
Yeah.
Well, as Arthur is famous of saying, you can't be president if you're not breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he'll be breathing a lot, but his brain will just be doing, la la land.
So his brain's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already talking an awful lot about him slurring his words, speaking sentences that don't make any sense. What were you saying, Val?
His brain's caught in the middle.
Wow.
And then you can't think, this is what it fell out when you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect.
So my pendulum is saying that this summer he's going to have that scene where people actually see him in a wheelchair.
Wow.
Oh, he'll hate that.
Yeah.
Anything that makes him
this will be gone, so it won't matter.
And I had a dream, and I woke up from the dream and I was like, are you just making shit up? Why are you But my dream was a newscast that said, breaking news, Donald Trump has been hospitalized. And then like the next day or two, he's wheeled into a court in a wheelchair because he just has to get to court, or maybe it's a week later or something. But yeah, that was my dream. Breaking news, Donald Trump has been hospitalized.
Wow.
Well, I think we all have dreams in that way of hoping that Donald Trump is somehow removed from the whole thing.
I don't know, but I've never had a dream about anybody like that. So I feel like if you had a dream about that, it'd be an important dream. The only person I ever dreamed about was Barack Obama. And it was one of those, he had just won and he came and thanked me because I was a big supporter. But he thanked me like one of those,
wow,
well, you're in my soul family and I want to thank you. It was in it was in a high school gymnasium and he was playing basketball, shooting hoops. And I was sitting there on the bleachers and he came over and thanked me.
Nice.
Wow. It was one of those dreams like you are there.
Nice.
It was a real
a very lucid dream.
Yes, it was a lucid dream in Technicolor. And like I was really there shaking his hand. It was very nice.
That's nice. I had a dream about Joe Biden winning, and the dream was just everybody that was dancing in the streets. And I'm watching this dream, and I'm like, am I just dreaming about that song, They'll Be Dancing in the Streets? Or are we dreaming about something important? Because I think about music all the time. I walk around with songs in my head, with, music videos in my brain all the time. So when I got that one, I was just like, okay, what is that?
Some of it is channeled information for you to know because it speaks to you through that music. So,
yeah. Yeah, very
Yeah.
much so. But a
Yeah.
lot of times it's just me going, I like that song. Yeah.
It could be.
Oh my God. Oh God.
It rings your bell, huh?
So
Wow.
somebody had asked about this, that former President Donald Trump will meet privately with Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, at Trump's club in Florida next week, according to a person briefed on the plans. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Orban is a right-wing nationalist who has waged an aggressive campaign against immigration and has declared that the West is at war with itself. He's a longtime ally of Mr. Trump and has close ties to the populist conservative movement in the United States. I have never heard of that movement, but whatever. So, what do we think that that means? The question is, why is Mr. Orban actually coming to Florida to meet with the orange one?
Because the orange one sang his praises like crazy a couple of months ago.
Yep.
Went on and on about Viktor Orban and what a strong man he is, and look at how he's, blah blah blah.
And so, but how does that help him? What is he going to do with that information and that propaganda? How is he going to use that?
Very interesting.
Because he already runs Hungary. What's his
Yeah.
plan?
We should read on that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to plot some way to be successful and to give him money. It's all about money. It's all about making him shine in a good light, because and I love it. This is a silly idea. I got the Page of Swords reversed, which
Mhm.
is, this is not a good idea, but they're trying to really make things look better than they are. So
And I got forest for the trees. It's all a bunch of hot air, and it's all about the money. So this backs up Gerald 100%. It's
Like a gift to him.
yeah.
He's the grifting gifter.
Yes.
As long as the gift goes to him.
But this trip is just making them both feel like a couple of giddy teenagers. They're just going to be excited, and they're going to feign this long-term friendship, like just like with Kim Jong-un. They're going to fall in love and have love letters and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, they're both going to just play this to the nines as if it's really good for both of them. And yet this is very telling. I did a whole 10 card spread in the place for their fears about the situation. I got the Four of Swords. So they're both kind of worried that they just won't click, that they won't connect, and they won't get along at all. And in the hopes, I got the Five of Cups. So they're both like not really trusting that this is going to happen. They're, like they both know that they're full of shit. They both know this. And yet the outcome is the 10 of Cups. So they're going to play it like and I love the 10 of Cups in this deck. They're a bunch of bowling people who are all excited.
Yes.
They're all
Oh,
dressed in
yes.
bowling shirts and stuff. So is that Walt Nauta jumping up and down?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's not Melania, that's for sure.
Well, isn't this guy from Argentina?
Hungary. He's from Hungary.
From Hungary.
Mhm.
Isn't he getting together with Trump just so that Trump can try to figure out a way to have? You guys are talking, Gerald and Val talking about money. Isn't it this guy's going to give some money to Trump? Or that's what he's hoping for, but maybe it doesn't work out?
I don't think Hungary has the money to give. They're talking about what can be funneled his way once he becomes, if Victor can help him somehow infiltrate the presidency by whatever bad publicity or whatever can get out there to mar Biden, then he can get in. And
Marina Heart Center Terrace said maybe Orban will be picking up some papers to take home with him.
Good point.
Something that he can share with others.
Or maybe they'll be selling some papers.
Could be selling
confidential papers that are stuck in the bathroom somewhere.
Selling secrets.
File locks.
Well, no, he might have to take a trip to Bedminster, go under the underground vault under the gravy site, and get in that secret storage area. Or there's one under the pool at Mar-a-Lago too, from what I understand. So
So crazy. Well, Orban hosts the CPAC, the thing, and he came 2 years ago to Texas, but he kind of hosts that. So a lot of times the MAGA people will travel to Hungary for meetings and stuff like that. So given that information, I bet that whatever secret documents were going to be shared have already been shared. And I think you're right. I don't think Orban really has any money to give Trump. So it's very curious because, well, you know what, though? Maybe Orban is in touch with a couple of Russian oligarchs
yes.
because, they're both admirers of Putin. So that perhaps is the connection for money because I don't know. And I thought that it would have been okay for Trump to get money from somebody like a foreign person, but he would have to pay income tax on it because it would be income, or gift tax, which I think is higher than income tax. But I could be wrong. Somebody can tell us. But I'm pretty sure that, like, if he's really out of luck with selling his stuff, I don't think Orban's going to be giving him the money, but he might be hooking him up with some oligarchs.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Oh God, how creepy! Why would you do that? Why? Ugh. Okay. All right. So we've been on about an hour now. Let's see if we can just wrap this up with something really good. Supreme Court, you've just completely disillusioned me for my whole life.
Oh God. Well, and while you're looking that up, there was some conversation going on in the chat. It's the first of the month. Blow some cinnamon into your front door to draw in abundance and prosperity into your life. It's always a good habit on the first of the month.
Okay, I'll go do that as soon as we get done. And hey, Deanne Shield Maiden Tarot is in the chat. Hi, Deanne.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Deanne.
Hi, nice to see you. Hi, Marina. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Here's an article kind of backs up what I was saying. Jeffries suggests Democrats would save Johnson from removal over Ukraine aid. So I'm not psychic. I just forgot to read the New York Times and I just pulled it out of my ass. That's the way it goes.
It's impressive.
Isn't that funny? There's actually an article about the very thing we were talking about, and I'm seeing it. Okay, McConnell, 3 mothers plea to the FDA. Oh, what is this? Oh, I don't want to read on that. Oh, that's too scary. Okay. Oh, help me out here, folks. What should we ask for the last question?
Well, it's a real shame that Donald Trump wanted to put up $100 million against $450 million or something. And the court and the attorney, I can't remember what is her name. There's it's another woman. Anyway, the attorney on that case.
Letitia
James.
Yeah, that one. She said, because they had to give her an opportunity to talk about it, and she said, no, no, we don't accept 100 million. We want the full amount. And
like he can negotiate downward, or like there was a negotiation process.
He did a similar thing in the E. Jean Carroll case. And in the E. Jean Carroll case, his E. Jean Carroll's attorney wrote a really withering retort to that whole thing because Trump claimed that E. Jean Carroll was fine with it. She knew he was good for the money eventually, so she was fine with a delay. She didn't need to get the whole thing right now.
Well, and the thing with that, isn't that due at the end of the week?
Yeah.
I mean, it's due right away.
It's due right
Well,
away.
if he wants to if he wants to appeal, he has to put the money up, and I think the
bond
deadline is for E. Jean Carroll. I think it's passed. I think he missed that deadline, And the deadline for the Letitia James thing is just a couple days away, or maybe it passed too. Yeah, I think it passed too, because I think they were both in February. Aw, too bad he
Something
missed
like they
the
had 30
deadline.
days from the day that the
Oh,
court made the
Okay, but the
thing.
deal is he has no intention of paying it because he can't pay it.
he can't.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
you have to have money in order to pay it.
So how soon is Orban going to Mar-a-Lago? Because I think that's his payday. I think that's what that is.
Oh,
Especially because they went out of their way in the article to mention that it was Orban's idea to have the meeting. So you know that's a lie. You know,
Yeah.
you know that it was Trump's idea.
exactly.
Oh God. Okay. So what are we gonna read about? Where Trump's gonna get the money?
Okay.
Where do
Sure.
we think Mr. Bumpet is going to get the money?
Well, from what we've read, he's trying to sell different properties. He's trying to sell his website. He's apparently probably trying to borrow money from other countries because that's how big his debt is. But yeah, the thing with what's her name, Eugene Carroll, that's just no. Her attorney was like, no, no, it's due. Hand it over.
Pay up. Yeah.
But she is a little bit nervous. I didn't get a chance to actually read the article, but she is a little bit nervous about, not the attorney, but Eugene Carroll, about actually getting that money.
Yeah, I would be too.
Well, and there was rumor today that Melania's been meeting with a special lawyer
For
off the
divorce,
books to renegotiate her prenup and her escape
Her
document.
escape clause.
Yeah.
We'll read about that after this, and then we'll call it a night. Okay.
Yeah.
So how is the orange one going to pay his debts, or will he be able to pay the debts?
He's not. He's not. I got the moon. He's dreaming. He's
Good.
dreaming.
Good.
Everything, and lots of things reversed. It's going to go downhill really quickly. I got the world reversed. There's a need for closure. It's like, stop it. Just pull the plug. Can't do it. Val, what were you going to say?
I totally back you up. I got the Grim Reaper first, got the swamp, and now he's lounging you know where. He can lounge and rest once the Grim Reaper comes. Then he doesn't have to worry about anything. It's about the self and finding his true north, which will happen when he crosses over.
Wonder if they'll have those bunny slippers embroidered by the time he realizes that he can't pay these things back.
Well, he would have the gold bunny slippers, but all of the gold lame has been purchased to make these shoes.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Has anybody ordered their pair?
With the Trump name on
Gold lame high top 10.
There's not enough money in the world that would make me buy anything of his.
$400 for these tennis shoes. That was one way he was going to make millions and millions of dollars to help pay his debts. That and
because the black people liked him because he was going to sell them gold-made tennis shoes.
That speech was so demeaning. That was just
he's always
he's cringeworthy. Ugh, it was so awful. So
I pulled the Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups on it. He's busy trying to romanticize everything. He's wonderful. He's great. He's done all this stuff. He did all this stuff when he was in office. He's trying to romanticize everything. I got the star reversed.
Yeah.
It just feels like he's a shooting star. He's going to crash and burn. That's how it reads to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anyone else?
What were you going to say?
Oh, I picked my cards up. They pretty much said the same thing. They just one card stood out to me, the Nine of Swords. This is Trump when he's figuring out that there's no money coming, there's no oligarch. Mr. Orban is a shyster who's not going to give him anything. He just wanted an autograph. And this is going to be, and so this is coming soon for him. And when this comes, this is going to cause him to start drooling and twitching and acting, having some kind of like stroke or something. And that's what's going to cause him to just implode.
You
And
know,
I have to say, oh, I'm sorry, Cleo, go ahead.
I just got the light bulb thing going off about a little picture I got of Don Jr. and Eric hustling to put as much money in offshore accounts as possible right now. I mean, like they're just right this minute working their asses off to do this to protect their money.
Well, they already got busted by the overseer of Trump's money,
Yeah.
trying to funnel
He was
monies and
trying to
stuff out of
smooth
his New York
company.
businesses and move them to new businesses in Florida.
Oh yeah, yeah,
She stopped them dead in their track. It's like, no, you can't do that.
right. No,
But
Anyway.
they were able to move funds around in the PACs though, like 40-50 million dollars. They were able to move that money around. But now there's so much attention on those funds that he doesn't dare try to use that for his appeals.
He didn't want it. He was moving companies because there's like 600 or however many he got caught. But anyway, I have picked the Grim Reaper out of these cards. All these, there's a lot of cards here.
Yes.
Like 5 times tonight.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's something going on with people crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember what the question was.
Melania.
The next one, yeah, but this one, did we
Melania.
wrap this one up? Yeah, I remember that about Melania, but did we wrap this one up? This question. Did
Sure.
everybody read on it?
I think we all
did.
answered. I think we all read on it.
Okay. Did you have something else to say about Trump's paying off or not paying off or
No, I think that they have a lot of money hidden places that is not that hasn't been found by all these cases in New York and stuff where they know where his assets are. I think there's other money. I think they're busy with stuff. It could involve other outside people in the family, like that other daughter that you don't really hear too much about. Maybe she has suddenly got her own account in the Cayman Islands or wherever, and that she could help hide some of the money because he's going to lose it all. And he can see that. And maybe he can't see it, but he's going to lose it all because for everything that he can't pay, that 83.3 million, that incurs interest daily.
Yep.
From the time that he can't pay it. And it's just, it could double overnight. I mean, it could just go crazy with how much money he's got to pay her back. And I'm just hoping that she gets a bunch of millions out of this because she's the one that's really making the biggest difference. All these other cases are, being put on hold because of the immunity thing. So, yeah, no, I think they are. I think they're very busy trying to hustle and hide assets, hide the money, hide all their other businesses because they've got foreign businesses that they don't necessarily have. That people haven't found out about, that these attorney generals don't know about.
Well, they do know about the other countries because they did finally get Trump's taxes and his financial statements because he brags about everything.
Yeah, he does.
So they do know about and it's mostly, I think, in China is where he actually had to set up businesses. But some of those businesses overseas, some of them come back to Trump Oregon. Not all of them, but some of them do. And I agree with you. They do have money hidden, but they didn't start soon enough hiding enough money. And I don't think that they're going to have very much because I think this is going to liquidate at least all the older children and Donald. The younger daughter, Tiffany,
Yeah, Tiffany.
they may have opened up companies without her knowledge, offshore accounts, and
Sure.
so they're not giving it to her.
No, I'm not saying they're giving it to her. They're using her in name only because they need her.
But
And
did you know she's a
somebody else-
lawyer?
Huh?
Did you know she's a lawyer?
No.
Yeah, she's been
She
in law
just
school.
she just became a lawyer.
Yeah.
But you know what? I get that this moon hidden information. And when I look at Trump and having accounts hidden in other places like who knows, the Caribbean, whatever,
Mhm.
I get the womb. Like he is not going to remember where they are. And he's not going to have let any of his relatives know. And he is not, no one, this is going to be, it's going to sit there. No one will know. This,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
in certain instances, this is going to happen.
I think the boys, Eric and Don, and probably Ivanka too, they probably have their own money that they've
Yeah.
squirreled away offshore. But even them, they were not prescient enough to do it in time and enough money to really help them out. It might, keep them afloat for 6 months, but it's not going to be because they don't know how to live
No.
normally. So it's not going to be enough money. But what I was going to say about Tiffany is that, if she gets wind that there are accounts in her name, she's going to go try to snap them up. They're not going to give them to her, but she's going to try to get them herself.
Mhm.
Because
I
look at
think
what's
hubby and
happening.
daddy-in-law will help her in that endeavor.
Yeah,
because
and because look at what's happening to her inheritance too, and she did nothing in all of this, and yet they probably had no qualms using her name. So,
Mhm.
I think that turnabout
at
would be
least
fair
she was
play.
smart in the fact that she found herself a really rich guy to marry. I mean, so it's not like she's having to rely on daddy's money anyway.
The apple
'Cause
does not fall far from the tree,
No.
does it? No, it does not.
No, they're a very incestuous group of people there,
Oh, don't say that word. Oh God. Oh God.
Gross.
Oh,
Here,
gross.
here.
Totally gross. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do I need to run the thing again?
Yes,
No,
please,
we're on,
please.
we're
Yeah,
on the,
let's clear it out
we're on
one
the
more
last
time.
question. We're on the last question. So, Melania, will Melania procure any cash out of her post-nuptial agreement that she's negotiating?
Well, again, I think Melania has a big pile of money somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that the only reason she hasn't divorced him is because of that big pile of money. But she wants to divorce him. She wants to get out of this whole mess. She didn't want him to run a second time anyway. And then when all this stuff came up, and he's basically been found guilty of rape, and he's certainly been found guilty of doing something inappropriately with E. Jean Carroll. So yeah, she's pissed, and she wants out of the mess. Because she can see that it's not going to disappear. She thought that after he got out of the White House, yay, we can go back to life as normal. But no, he wanted to be president again, and that's all he's worked. The last 4 years, I bet he's hardly even said hi to her. He's just so busy doing his other thing. Did you see the thing where they tried to make he called Melania Mercedes, and they came back and they made a whole big explanation of why that happened, when really he was directing his question to somebody named Mercedes, not that he didn't know his wife's name was not Mercedes. And I thought, oh God, you're really getting worried about it now that you called your wife the wrong name.
I did read that they actually, that was not a truth, that he really was directing it to someone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that they are picking on him because as he picks on Biden and his group. But I see that Melania, she's got her glasses on. She knows what's going on. She's been taking care of herself from day one.
Mm.
And that she's making sure she's going to land just fine. She was never in it for the marriage. It was always a contract deal to her, what they could both do for each other. So, yeah, I think she's sitting fine. Just like Cleo said, she's got her money already. lined up.
I
Yeah.
pulled the 8 of Pentacles for
Yeah.
Melania. She's got her money squirreled away.
Got it. Squirrel.
And I think she hasn't left Donald yet because she was waiting for Baron to turn 18.
Oh,
I think that was part of the agreements that had been agreed to over the years, was she had to stay with him until Baron was 18. And he's
Oh.
18 now,
And-
so
and-
she should be able to walk away cleanly.
and
Then I pulled Justice. So
Sherry,
you know, I
don't you
think-
think it's funny though? Because didn't I just hear that Melania's whole thing about making sure Baron would be in the line of inheritance, and that was one of her big agreements she made, and now there's not going to be any.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
funny.
think that's why she's still there. I think she's been squirreling away extra money for Baron so that he's not completely left out in the cold.
Hopefully,
I
she's
feel so
been
sorry for
siphoning
that
things up.
child. He doesn't stand a chance with the parents he's got. And then again, the Knight of Swords. I mean, it's all coming at him like just
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. You know, they don't have time to breathe, much less think. But she's not stupid. She's lining the coffins. Coffins.
You said it right
She's
the first
lining the
time.
coffers.
She's lining the coffins.
Yeah, that's it. Or I like what Captain Morgan says, or she knows about the other offshore accounts. Yeah.
Maybe.
You might.
Gerald,
Yeah.
Gerald, what do you have?
Well, I have it's going to work out in her favor mostly because she has good lawyers. And but yeah, it's not without its challenges.
Mhm.
But I love this. I have the Hanged Man, and I'm like, when you hang somebody upside down in order to get all of the money out of them. And
So true.
so and I actually wonder if she gets more if there is a divorce rather than if there is if he is unalive.
Oh.
So she may get more from divorcing than
Yeah, because if she got more the other way, she'd help him along.
That's true, because if you're enforcing a divorce agreement or prenup, it's a lot different, and it's a contractual thing than dying and then a will has to be followed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that with all of the stuff that is going on for him, that's going to be tied up in so many courts.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for you? Okay.
Yep, that's it.
So I'm going to take us all to Crazy Town. All right.
please
So Melania gets the justice card first and foremost. This is her idea of justice. This is what she thinks should happen. And I think it looks a little bit like Melania.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I like her eye makeup. I don't know how she gets the light to come out of her eyes like that, but maybe it's an eyelash enhancer or something. I don't know. But the rest of her cards are pretty terrible. So I feel Melania is a Russian asset. She's been taking care of Trump all of these years, and she's really sick and tired of it. And I don't think Trump is the one who's actually going to be paying her. It's his money to her is more like tips. So these agreements used to be great for her because it was totally on top of what she was already getting from her handlers. She was handling Donald, handlers handled her. She got paid. She got money put away by the handlers for future when she would ultimately leave. So cards do not look good for her. I mean, I think really she's been quite absent from the scene on purpose. The handlers just don't know what to have her do because, Donnie is just, so good at screwing things up himself. She doesn't really need to do anything at the moment, but she can't leave. And she wants Baron to, finish school or turn 18 and do all these other stuff. But I don't think she's going to get what she really wants out of the post nup. I think it's going to be kind of slim pickings. I think she'll get something. I don't think Donald will be able to actually provide that something. It'll be on paper, but there will be nothing there to fulfill it.
Mhm.
So I see her having to change her travel plans. I think initially her real goal was once she could take Barron out of the country, she would go maybe back to her homeland or back to some other nice European country where she would have the money to set herself up. But things have changed a lot. So now, where does she go? I mean, she might become Viktor Orban's next wife. I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you know she's
who
hunting for,
knows?
she's shopping for the next sugar daddy.
Yeah, she definitely is. And she doesn't, she's agnostic. She does not care where she lands. She speaks 7 languages, remember? So she doesn't really care where she lands. She just wants a nice place for her and Barron. And, she wants to sit on a yacht for 90% of her life.
Mhm.
So I don't think it really matters that Donald's money is drying up, except she's got to fulfill her contract with Russia and then, you know, end that, terminate that, wrap everything up. And, I'm pretty sure they're happy with her. I mean, she did everything that she was supposed to do, I think. And, it kind of went south because Donnie went south. So,
Mhm.
I think they see the writing on the wall too. Although I think Putin still believes that there's a chance that he's going to run the world with Donnie's help. So I don't know, but her final card is the Hanged Man. She's just like
Uh,
she's stuck.
Mhm.
She's just
Yeah.
not really able to do what she really wants to do. But
mhm.
I think her payday comes more from the big R than the big T.
Mhm.
That's
That
right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we did a bunch of questions. Um, I hope that we've helped you, viewers, kind of think about all of the stuff that's going on in a more cogent way. I mean, I'm still quite overwhelmed by the amount of information that is out there
Yep.
in the internets, and I, I don't know what to say. I mean, hopefully by next week some of these things will be clear. Who knows? I don't really know, but thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to go to each of our channels and put in a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. The thumbs up really helps a lot with the algorithm. And please be sure to leave us some comments on the afterplay, on the replay, because that also really, really helps a lot. Thank you so much for your comments. It's, as I think stood up to my normal standard of being total crap when it comes to paying attention to the comments. I tried, but
They were good. I was bringing them out as needed.
you did. And thank you so much, Gerald. I really,
Oh, you're
really
welcome.
appreciate that. That's very, very helpful. And so we'll see you next time. Thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to cue myself up here, and I'm really happy you could all join us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.